The Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation has been simmering in the background for a while, and it's been an interesting follow. Now I don't know quite all the ins and outs that so many other people have, but it's just interested outside observer. I mean, like if we could just kind of have mutually assured destruction between the open male feminist and just an insufferable post-wall former hot girl, okay, and then also just somebody who is known to be a huge pain in the ass behind the scenes. Like if we could just have everybody come together and just being wiped off the face of the earth, that would be great. Could we just go ahead and get to that part of this, because it's quite a bit different than the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation, where Johnny he got maligned for years only to come back with the receipts and go, well, yeah, no, she was actually crazy. And it's like, oh yeah, no, that totally makes sense, right? This entire situation where it really is cut and dry, but whoever wins, we all lose, because you're either helping somebody who is still an open male feminist. It's like, why do you have to do that, bro? Like, everybody's on your side. You could just go ahead and take the RP and become really based on this stuff. But no, you're gonna go down swinging with your ideology, or it's just gonna be stronger push from the Me Too crowd, because once again, seeing this stuff develop time and time again with different people over and over again, you start to see the signs and you start to see the flags when they begin to manifest. And well, you got Blake Lively just reading directly out of this old playbook, and it's like, this is why I know that she is absolutely cap. Blake Lively accuses Justin Baldoni of disregard and disrespect, yes, for victims. Oh, okay, cool. So stolen valor for a situation that didn't happen to you, but because he has, once again, like I said before and we talked about in the previous video, he has provided receipts of you and your husband openly lying, and you're saying, no, if he tears me down and he tears down my defense, that's going to hurt actual victims. Fuck you. But yeah, let's take a look at the Blake Lively attack side of this thing, okay? A very public clash between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has seen accusations of harassment, smear campaigns, defamation, extortion, and more being thrown about, with Ryan Reynolds and the New York Times, Taylor Swift, and Disney being pulled in for various lawsuits, heading towards a trial starting next year. Oh boy. Lawyers for the It Ends With Us stars are now battling over how open the path to the trial should be. Oh, it should be very open, by the way. As the Lively and Baldoni legal teams continue to squabble over the scope of the subpoenas to telecom companies in what has become a $400 million and counting matter. The actresses Wilkie Farr and Gallagher attorneys today called out the It Ends With You director, his fellow defendants, and alleged weaponized online content creators for misleading accusations over a potential protective order. Yeah, he provided all the receipts on a website. That means that he's attacking my very innocent client, which is quite an interesting spin, because Blake Lively's legal team moves to restrict independent content creators discussing the lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Yeah, this is why I want to start going hard on this topic, mostly because we have seen this before. You're not defending yourself because you don't have the facts on your side. Now you're starting to blame everybody else, and you also want to censor the truth. Go straight to hell, bitch. As the legal war between It Ends With Us co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni escalates, Lively's legal team has set its sight on a new concern: online content creators. In a newly filed court document, her attorneys argue that independent commentators on platforms like YouTube and TikTok are unfairly amplifying Baldoni's claims, and they are pushing for a protective order to keep specific case details from public view. Oh yeah, so like the evidence. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we don't want like facts and truth to bog down our narrative. So if we could just go ahead and get rid of all of that unsavory stuff, because we stand up for victims over here. Now, this move comes quickly after Baldoni launched a website outlining the $400 million defamation lawsuit against Lively, her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and others. The website features a full timeline of events, along with screenshots of texts, emails, and communications that Baldoni's legal team claims counter Lively's accusations. While protective orders are common in high-profile cases to safeguard sensitive financial and medical records, Lively's attorneys have gone further by specifying citing online personalities such as Perez Hilton. Yo, that hack is still around. Like, hasn't he lost so much weight where he's just just kind of, more or less acted like a black hole, even though he is of charisma, and just collapsed in on himself. And Candace Owens, what? Like, I know that she's been naming names here for a little while. I just didn't realize that she was doing that in this sense as well. So they claim these figures have contributed to what they describe as a manufactured echo chamber. Yeah, all of you people discussing, the written text of the affair, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be listening. You should be listening and believing. Shut up. That distorts the facts of the case and influences media coverage against their client. Yeah, but once again, if you have the facts in court, it doesn't matter what people are saying outside of the courtroom. Yeah, like I said, man, we've seen all of this stuff before, but here's where things take a turn. Baldoni made a nearly identical argument against the New York Times in his own lawsuit. Lively's legal team is arguing that independent content creators are shaping public perception in the case in a way that's unfairly damaging to her reputation, but that isn't that exactly what Baldoni alleged the New York Times did in his lawsuit against the paper? Yeah, because he's filing a lawsuit against an actual party that defamed him. That may or may not have been under the direction of Lively and Reynolds. Baldoni sued the New York Times for $250 million, claiming they engaged in a coordinated effort to promote Lively's accusations and frame him as guilty in the court of public opinion. Now, Lively's attorneys are saying that independent commentators are doing the same thing, just in reverse, by presenting Baldoni's arguments and challenging Lively's claims. Yeah, he's presented this evidence, and of course, it could be taken out of context, but we've seen both sides of the exchanges and the text messages, and we can kind of draw our conclusions from there. The question is, why is it only a problem when it works against her? Yeah, the apparent contradiction exposes a larger issue. Both sides are accusing the other of using media influences to control the narrative. Baldoni argued that the Times unfairly backed Lively, while Lively's team now claims that independent voices are backing Baldoni. If one side considers media coverage biased and harmful, then shouldn't the same standard apply across the board? Yeah, exactly. So are Lively's lawyers trying to silence independent content creators? It sure as hell seems that way, right? You're filing that protection order and you're trying to silence the truth from getting out there. Let the facts decide. Well, not those facts and not those facts. And you know what? Shut up. Just let us decide, okay? We have a story that we want to tell, and if you don't believe us, you're silencing actual victims. But while that court order has yet to be decided upon, at least at the time of recording, we know who actually is standing up and listening and believing women. And that would be Amazon, because Blake Lively's film trailer gets mass dislikes as public sentiment turns against her. Amazon quickly disables YouTube comments. Oh boy, I find that to be very indicative in and of itself. That tells you what side has the public favor, mostly because, yeah, one side has the facts and the other one, well, has a washed up set of tits. Blake Lively saw a wave of dislikes on a trailer for her latest film, Another Simple Favor. The trailer, which debuted yesterday on Amazon Prime Video's, official YouTube channel, and oh boy, have they been releasing banger after banger after banger. Y'all see that G20 trailer? Madam President, Viola Davis, a 65-year-old Viola Davis beating the brakes off of 300-pound dudes in Homelander. Yeah, that's going to be great. Anyways, coming out in April 20th or April something like that. Well, if it's coming out April 20th, that's probably also an equally fine day, because I was thinking, you should probably just release it on April 1st, because that shit's going to be an entire fucking circus, not just a clown show. But yes, the trailer has been met with overwhelmingly negative reactions, racking up 6,500 dislikes compared to 4,300 likes. That's actually not a bad ratio. Honestly, that's kind of, I guess we know where all of the old Amber Heard stans went. Okay, they found a new avatar for their mental illness. Even more telling, Amazon has disabled the comments on the trailer, a move that raises eyebrows considering the company allowed open discussion for controversial projects like The Rings of Power. You keep this once beloved name out your mouth, but we're vastly approaching, and I think I have a video coming out this weekend about how we're getting to a point in time where there is a vastly more bad content for the Lord of the Rings out there in the world than there is good. And thank God Professor Tolkien wrote so much. So if you want to rope in that stuff, you can eventually just do away with, everything that Amazon's doing to it, and then also what Warner Brothers is about to do with it. But hey, I guess you can kind of take this as a win. Apparently, the Hunt for Gollum movie has been pushed off for a year. Oh boy, maybe we'll talk about that next week. We stop ruining everything, okay? Thank God we have the trilogy, and you know what? There are redeemable parts of The Hobbit, okay? There's not redeemable parts of Blake Lively anymore. She's just a lying whore who's trying to ruin somebody's life because she couldn't take no for an answer. Given Amazon's track record of letting public discourse play out in past projects, shutting down comments have suggested the studio may be trying to contain growing negativity surrounding Lively. Yeah, exactly, because I don't necessarily know if she has contract with them, okay, like if she signed on to do additional projects, but yeah, if they're just trying to, oh boy, stem the tide of public perception, this is normally one of the first steps where you just go ahead and make these incremental changes to what the public can do to interact with the project. Because does anybody remember in 2018 a little movie by the name of Captain Marvel that caused Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Warner Brothers, IMDb is owned by Amazon, but Rotten Tomatoes changed their entire audience scoring system because of Captain Marvel. Okay, and then Netflix as well, changed the entire way that they can rate a project because of, what was it, Amy Schumer's The Leather Special? If I remember that correctly, do I have my sources cited? I think it was Amy Schumer. It was either Amy Schumer or Hannah Gadsby. Both equally unfunny female comedians, but why do I need to be redundant? But holy crap, man, this is interesting because just prior to this stuff, like, okay, cool. If you were to tell me last year that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, two of the most photogenic and likable people in Hollywood, especially off the back of Deadpool and Wolverine, and just their fun banter that they would have alongside Taylor Swift in those NFL boxes, oh boy, if you were to tell me that they would be some of the most detestable people for the public to perceive in 2025, I would have called you crazy. That trite argument once again, but it's a spectacular fall from grace, and to be completely honest, based on what we've heard and just connecting dots out there, couldn't happen to nicer people. And it's not like I'm really sticking up for Jason Baldoni, because the only thing that he wants to stick up is something to his asshole. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.